The Council of Seven Lights, by George W. Van Tassel. Publication date 1958. This book is within the public domain. Audio book format by The Matrix Minds. The Table of Contents. Book Introduction. Chapter 1, The Missing Link. Chapter 2, Invisible Gears. Chapter 3, The Sons of God. Chapter 4, Trinity of Infinity. Chapter 5, Unseen Scales. Chapter 6, The Angels of Space. Chapter 7, Prodigal Mother. Chapter 8, Methuselah's Toy. Chapter 9, The Sword of Damocles. Chapter 10, The False Chariot. Welcome to Chapter 4, Trinity of Infinity. Time is only understood by each conscious, intelligent unit from its established point of location in motion. Time cannot be measured, only the repetition of motions manifested as beginnings and endings can be measured. Each point of beginning and ending is only relative to the understanding of the individual establishing his point of view. The point of begin and end is established by one individual, so as to bring another individual to the same point of understanding. Life, time and being are understandable to intelligence alone. These three are non-existent only when intelligence has been excluded by ignorance in the individual. Life, time and being can only exist in space, which is also infinite. Space is solution, composed of life, time, being, and intelligence. None of these can be measured in the absolute. They can only enter measurable dimension when individuals establish points from which to measure. Length, height, and width, these are only three measurements by which individuals can understand points from which relative measurements are started and ended. An inch, a foot, or a yard are not understood by people who use some other devised means of measurement. A relative difference between the measurements must be charted in order to understand the difference between the system and ours. Measurements can only be achieved in and by motions. No day or night could be measured without the motion of the Earth revolving. No seasons or years would exist if the Earth didn't orbit around the Sun. The lifespan of people on the Earth is only arrived at by the measurement of people's time on Earth relative to past measurements. Belief, the illusion of reality, makes people accept the established record of the lifespans of other people who have lived before them, as a measure by which they should live and then die. The establishment of these points of beginning and end of life are only manifest in matter which has little or no intelligence. Matter cannot manifest motion without energy. Energy is the motion of thought manifested through matter. Intelligence which has no motion can only manifest through thought, which causes motion to be manifest in matter by thought force. In symbology, the Creator is expressed by a symbol that signifies the circumference encompassing everything. The circle is an endless line signifying infinity with no beginning and no end. Life is an essence of the infinite solution we call space. You are living in an endless ocean of life, as are the atoms, planets, and suns. You could not manifest life, if life were not where you are. Since life manifests everywhere in infinity, you cannot end life, or begin life. You can only establish a point in the endless circle, in circle shown, where you began the cycle of manifesting matter in life. Motion can be symbolized in the endless circle by the sign of an arrow, curved arrow in a circle shown. An arrow has always signified the way to go. All matter manifesting life in balance motion moves in an arc. All matter manifesting life in unbalance, or unnatural principles, is symbolized by an angle. Angle symbol in a circle shown. The largest portion of you is space, whether it be the space in atoms, cells, or tissue composing the matter of your physical body, or the space your limited body as a unit occupies. Your intelligence is established by the limits of your individual concepts. Everyone uses the one mind. Your limit is only a measurement of your ability to penetrate and absorb to the full your capacity of the infinite intelligence. Time is variable in your concept of it. One day seems longer or shorter than another day. You are an assembly of other forms of individual manifested life. You are a form enclosing various compositions of atomic, molecular, crystalline, and cellular structure. In turn, you are a small individual part of a living planet, solar system, and galaxy. Change is the result of motion. Time is measurable only in cycles of repetition. Every thought sets up motion. Every motion causes an effect. Your manifestation of matter in motion is the reflection of your true concept and understanding of infinity. Things in motion change, and things that change are not eternal in any one pattern of form. T is the symbol of time. S is the symbol of space. B is the symbol of being. Symbol is the caducus, or the triune of T, B, and S. Division of the eternal things is what created opposites. Time, space, being, now, then, here, there, life, death cycles are repetitions of the divisions. All divisions of opposites reach a fulcrum pinnacle of stillness, at times. Everything in the universe comes under one, or the other, of the three aspects of infinity. Each of the opposites, such as here and there, cycles and interchange within itself like a swinging pendulum. Here becomes there as soon as you cross the street, and there becomes here. As you register your own changes in time, tomorrow becomes today as the earth revolves on its axis, and today was tomorrow, yesterday. Life and death also interchange, so that being may manifest through the action. Time cannot be a dimension, because everything in motion in time will never repeat itself again exactly as it was before. If you could be not, then you could not be now, because now was then before you arrived here from there. You are all the time, even when your body sleeps. A real you never sleeps, although it rests at the peak of the fulcrum in the interchange between the opposites of life and death. Flesh is only matter you assimilate as a requirement of this dense earthly condition. Flesh moves only because your real body moves it. Your matter body of flesh is not going to walk, or talk, after you get out of it. Death can only manifest in matter. This is the interchange that permits matter to return to what it was before you assimilated it into form. That portion of space which is you, will always be in time somewhere. Expressing life here now is really death there then, when you observe from the opposite side of things. The trinity of time, space, and being are the deity called God. Time, like thought, is infinite. Time does not go by. Everything that moves in the universe goes through time. Man measures time with clocks and calendars. If there were no measuring methods made by man, then there would be no yesteryears or tomorrows. Age would not exist, today would be all there is. Individual beings are all part of each other in the universal sense, making up infinite being. God is not an individual, but is all of us. God being infinite and boundless, he is not something or someone man finds on the other side of the door called death. If this were true, he would not be infinite. Time is a medium through which the beings of God's creation manifest God's presence. No one can live in the past or the future who is not present now in God. Mind through thought is not limited to the present, for thought is also infinite. The creative mind of today is the same infinite mind that created the universe. Mind is God manifested in being. Your part of God is manifested when you use God's infinite mind to create through thought. Thought is the creative force that gives life to being. Space is not void. Space is the essence of intelligent mind. Man is a space filled with creative matter, manifesting the thought essence of form. And so are all things with life. Man is in God's image only when the thought of infinite mind is brought into being by individual thought to manifest other creative forms in time. Objects, structures, and things cannot manifest creative thought, as they do not move through infinite time as individual parts of space or the essence of intelligence. To be, man must manifest motion in the medium of time, which stands still. Anyone who does not have time to manifest God's doing has discarded thought and life. The matter manifesting their form will soon become inert. Death is not a doorway to God in heaven. Heaven is a doorway to God on earth. Mortals bound in density, who would be the cause, who would bide my time? The tree of the in me stops not its growth. Though my parts would add to my divisions, my faceless cosmic clock records no time. For man is not a cause, but rather a result of me, for I alone am cause of things to be. And though thou mortal man would wind my clock of destiny, and set the powder keg of destruction at my feet, how can he know the woe? For I alone am cause, and man is the result of me, bound to destiny. And in destruction bent reverses course, and all the light spent in his being is hidden by the curtain of ignorance drawn before me. Though I alone am cause, my wrath is not aroused. I tear the shroud. I bring man back through birth within the light, and test my right expressed in progression of my parts. I write the drama, man plays the fool, then I applaud and make the tool sharper to my cause through experienced results. Man cannot set my clock, for I alone can read the time of my eternity. And so it is I set the stage, I play the parts, I cause the curtain to come down while man sits in the audience of my universe applauding, not knowing why. Though I have scattered my creations throughout the endless space of me, I use my tools to manifest my doings. To do my works no task is small. I choose my tools, I trust them all until they fail me. Then I put another to the test. My tools are not the tools of man, that rust and break and fall away. My tools are living instruments that work with love throughout the day and night. To each I gave the choice to be an instrument of me. End of chapter.